pleasant surprise from the Danish royal family. We discovered a new photograph of Prince Joachim, who returned home. Accompanied by his wife Marie and their children, he visited the car races in Copenhagen. Few crowned individuals did not make the trip to Paris. On July 26th, Albert II and Charlene of Monaco, Willem Alexander and Maxima of the Netherlands, Philippe VI and Letizia of Spain attended the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games in the French capital. Also present were Frederick and Mary of Denmark, who enthusiastically applauded the athletes of their delegation passing along the Seine. Although the king was nowhere to be seen, the queen decided to stay a little longer to cheer during some events. She cheered for the Danes in equestrian events, handball, a sport in which she took her first steps as Queen Mary, and swimming. Mother of Christian, Isabella, Josephine, and Vincent was captured hugging and photographing Australian swimmers who won gold in the freestyle relay. She may be the Queen of Denmark, but she will always be Mary from Australia, said one internet user. Prince Joachim of Denmark, living in the USA, preferred to return home for the holidays. But his stay in his homeland was no less sporty than that of his sister-in-law. This weekend, the historic Grand Prix of Copenhagen took place, a car race organized on the streets of the Danish capital. Thus, Joachim of Denmark, a car enthusiast, came to the sporting event. The visit, about which the official Instagram account of the Danish royal family shared 3 photos. The first shows the king's brother Frederick with his wife Mary and their children Henrik and Athena. In the next photo, Joachim of Denmark took his place behind the wheel of one of the racing cars. Today among the visitors were their Royal Highnesses Prince Joachim and Princess Marie, who, together with their Excellencies Count Henrik and Countess Athena, saw historic cars up close. The caption to the photo says, "This is why Joachim of Denmark and his family came to watch this historic car race, as he moved to the United States with his wife and 2 youngest children on September 1st of last year." In an interview, he admitted that his wife felt in Washington like a fish in water. It should be noted that this is not the first time she has crossed the Atlantic. Studying international business and economics, she lived in Boston. She also lived in New York, where she earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in the 1990s. As for their children, Henrik and Athena, they seem to have also adapted to American life. They started school on Monday, August 28th, and are very excited. They find it interesting and have already made new friends, emphasized Joachim of Denmark. Celebrating Prince Joachim's family's return to Denmark, fans noted a striking detail related to his wife Marie. "Oh my, from a distance, she looks like Queen Mary in this photo. Princess Marie looks so much like Queen Mary," comments say. But these 2 women are like chalk and cheese. The comments of the French woman Marie, it is said, greatly upset the new Queen of Denmark. And the 2 daughters-in-law of Margaret I cannot even hide their icy relationship towards each other. The announcement of moving thousands of kilometers from Copenhagen, which further distanced the couple from the royal family after the internal crisis that erupted at the end of 2022. Margaretha's sharp decision to strip her 4 grandchildren of their princely titles was very hard for them. An announcement that underscored the tense relationship between Joachim and Marie on the one hand and those now known as Frederick and Queen Mary. As evidence, on the day of his elder brother's proclamation in January last year, Prince Joachim made a quick return journey without his wife and 4 children. Evidence that relationships were still difficult. "We were not satisfied with how it happened," Princess Marie said bitterly, recalling Margaretha's decision. A heavy blow that she seems to still find hard to digest more than a year after her statement, but this is a family matter. It is complex, she dodges. Perhaps even more so since they directly affected the children. It's also their name, it's their identity from the moment they were born. So it's more than what people consider a title, Princess Marie explains before her husband concludes the debate. Despite their dissatisfaction, Joachim of Denmark and Marie assure that this matter is now in the past. "We have evolved," concluded the prince. The history of the Danish royal family, especially in the context of the relationships between its members, shows how complex and multi-layered dynastic ties and internal conflicts can be. Prince Joachim's return to his homeland after living in the United States. His participation in public events with his family and the apparent tension between Queen Margaret II's two daughters-in-law illustrate the uneasy dynamics within the royal family. Prince Joachim and his wife Marie, despite attending official events and trying to save face in public, are still feeling the effects of the events of 2022 when their children were stripped of their princely titles. This decision by the Queen not only alienated them from the main royal family, but also revealed internal contradictions that do not seem to have been fully overcome. A significant point in the story is the tension between Marie and her daughter-in-law, Queen Mary. Despite the outward similarities mentioned by fans, their relationship is characterized by an icy attitude, which further fuels the interest of the public and the media. This conflict is a reminder that even in royal families, which represent symbols of stability and tradition, there are personal dramas and complex human feelings. Relationships in such families, although supported by certain etiquette and formalities, are subject to the same challenges and problems as in ordinary families. The issue of identity and belonging, especially in the context of loss of titles, can have a profound impact on relationships and self-esteem, as we see in the example of Joachim and Marie's children. Ultimately, family relationships remain the foundation of life even for those who hold high titles. The royal family of Denmark, like many other royal families, reflects the diversity of human relationships, their complexity and vulnerability. Prince Joachim's return to his homeland after time spent in the United States, as well as his participation in the family's social events, emphasize the desire for reunion and a return to roots. However, even these moments cannot hide the internal strife and tensions evident between family members. Queen Margaret's decision to strip the children of Prince Joachim and Princess Marie of their princely titles left a deep mark on family relations. The decision symbolized not only a change in the structure of the royal dynasty, but also caused controversy and discontent among those affected. For Prince Joachim and his family, it has been a challenge that they continue to overcome as they try to find a new place in royal and public life. The tension between Princess Marie and Queen Mary, while interesting to the audience, also emphasizes the complexity of internal relationships within the royal family. Despite outward similarities and sympathy from fans, the reality of this relationship remains layered and unresolved. This case also illustrates that even in the symbols of stability and tradition that royal families are, there are personal conflicts and difficulties that can affect interactions within the family and their public perception. Ultimately, these stories are a reminder that the royal family is also first and foremost a family with its internal dramas, challenges, and search for its own identity. The story of Prince Joachim and Princess Marie, their return and participation in family events, is thus not only a cause for celebration, but also a cause for reflection on the complexity of family ties and the importance of personal relationships, even in the highest circles of society.